Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to share with you my squat specific warm-up routine. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a warm-up to get my heart rate up. Okay, and to do that I'm going to do 5 minutes of light cardio, so that's skipping for me. I'm then going to do dynamic stretches. They're going to be specific to the areas I'm going to be working in the squats, so the hamstrings, for example, the glutes. With the dynamic stretches, I'm going to choose 5 exercises. I'm going to do 1 set of each, and I'm going to do 12 reps on each exercise, and that's just going to be done as one big giant set. After that, I'm going to move on to an activation exercise, and this is just to get me ready for squats. It's going to focus on my hamstrings and my glutes. To do this, I'm going to do hip thrusts, single leg hip thrusts. And then after these, I'm going to move on to the actual squats themselves, and I'm going to do a few warm-up sets to get myself ready and work towards my working weight. Okay, so I'm going to start with 5 minutes of skipping. I'm just going to set 5 minutes up on my Whoop, and I'm going to try and get my heart rate to above 120. Jump rope, start activity. So I've just done my 5 minutes of light cardio. I got my heart rate up. I'm out of breath a little bit now. I'm feeling a lot more focused, ready for the workout. So I'm gonna do some dynamic stretches now. And the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna choose 5 dynamic stretches. I'm gonna do 1 set of each, and I'm gonna do 12 reps. I'm just gonna work through that as a giant set. So the first one that we're gonna do is for ankle dorsiflexion. Okay, so you just wanna set up in the kneeling position. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to lean into the stretch until you feel that in the back of the calves. Okay, so you're stretching the calves there. But as I did this, I'm actually engaging the muscles on the front, pulling myself into the stretch. And then I'm pushing into the ground, engaging the muscles on the back, and pushing myself out of the stretch. And I'm going to go for 12 reps of pulling in and pushing back out. And try to work through the full stretch, using your full range of motion. And then we're going to switch over and we're going to do the other leg. Okay, so next we're doing a stretch for hip external rotation. So I'm working this front leg from the 90-90 position. Okay, so I'm just sitting with my legs at 90 degrees front leg and my back leg. I've got my torso upright, so my chest is upright. I'm trying to keep a nice neutral spine. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lean forward into this until I feel the stretch in my glutes, okay? Once I reach that end range, I'm gonna push myself back out. And then as I come into it again, I'm gonna pull myself in using these muscles on this side, okay? And I'm gonna go for 12 reps again. So push out and pull yourself back in. And try to not use your hands too much. Use them as much as you need them, but really you wanna, this is an active dynamic stretch, so you really want to use some muscles to pull yourself in and out of this stretch. Okay, so next up we're going to be laying on our back and we're going to be focusing on our hamstrings. So to do this, you want to lie flat on your back, okay? You want to not arch your lower back here, so pull your belly button in, okay? So everything's engaged, leg nice and straight. It doesn't need to be locked out, just go to where you're comfortable. It can be a slight bend if you want. We're going to engage the quads and the hip flexor muscles and the core muscles. We're going to pull ourselves deep into a stretch until you feel that hamstring stretch, and then we're going to bring it back down. So remember, using these muscles in the front, pull your leg up as far as you can. We're going to go for 12 reps. Okay, so for the next exercise, we're going to be working hip internal rotation. You're going to need a bench or a wall or something you can put your leg behind so that you're not moving your knee too much. Okay, what we're going to do is just going to bring up our knee up to hip height. From here, we're going to keep the knee against the seat here, and I'm going to try to bring my ankle out as far as I can using these muscles on the outside of my hip. Okay, and I'm going to go for 12 reps. If you have a hard time pulling yourself out into hip internal rotation, you can use a band to create a bit of resistance, help assist that stretch. So pull out, still using the muscles, but you've just got the band there to help pull you deeper into a stretch. So for the final exercise now, what we're going to do is hip cars. I'm going to do it up against the wall, and I'm just going to use this to work my hip joint through its full range of motion. So hands against the wall, I'm going to take in a nice deep breath. Okay, I'm going to try to fill my diaphragm up, create tension, and from here I'm going to bring my knee up into flexion, but at the same time I'm trying to bring that heel up nice and high. So I'm in hip external rotation as well, so I'm coming nice and high out to the side. And then I'm going to bring that heel up and not let the knee drop too much. So I'm rotating through the hip, bringing it back into hip extension. Abduct. Bring that ankle down again, keep the knee high, bring it back into the center, into hip flexion, but bring that ankle nice and high. Hip external rotation and back down. That's one rotation. We're just going to go for 2 more of those, so it's 3 on each side, nice and controlled. Okay, so we've just done all of our dynamic stretches. We're now going to work on our activation exercise, and for this I've chosen hip thrusts or single leg glute bridges, and we're going to do these on a bench. Okay, so I'm going to go for 3 sets and 8 to 10 reps on every set. So I'm just going to put one foot on the ground, my other leg I'm going to keep bent at the hip and at the knee, and I'm going to keep it bent at 90 degrees. And from here I'm just going to drive through this heel, thrusting upwards, squeezing my glutes, okay, and being sure to try and maintain a neutral spine as I do this. So I drive up, I pause there for a second, and I come back down. I touch the ground, but I try not to rest. So I maintain the tension throughout the entire movement. Drive through the heels, squeeze the glutes, and bring it back down. And we're going to go for 8 reps. Okay, so I've just finished with my activation exercises. I've completed my 3 sets of my single leg hip thrusts, and now I'm ready to move on to the first exercise of the workout, and that is squats today. So when I do my squats, how I like to do this is if I know that I'm going to be doing 4 working sets with 8 reps, then I'm going to work up to that weight, to my working weight, and I'm usually going to do this using about 3 to 4 warm-up sets. So the bar's nice and light at the moment. I've only got 40 kilograms on there, and I'm going to do 4 reps. I tend to keep my warm-up set reps really low. They're going to be anything from 4 to 6 reps at the most. Set 2 on my warm-up squats, and I've got 60 kilograms on the bar now. I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to keep it at 4 reps. Okay, so now I'm on my 3rd warm-up set. I've got 80 kilograms on the bar, and I think I'm going to make the next one my first working set. For this, I'm probably going to do about 4 to 3 reps. I'll see how it feels. Okay guys, so just bear in mind that it doesn't matter how good your warm-up routine is, no amount of stretching prior to your workout is going to improve your mobility if it's restricted. So if you're restricted in ankle dorsiflexion, knee flexion, hip flexion for instance, that's going to have an effect on your ability to be able to perform the squats. So what we always advise is you start with a joint assessment. This is the best way we know of to assess your range of motion and try to figure out where you might be restricted and come up with a clear plan of what you need to work on. This is actually something that we offer on our website, and I'm going to put the link in the bottom of this video so you can click on it and you can book in for a joint assessment with either me or Hallie. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, leave a comment and let us know what you would like us to cover in the next video.